Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and something I just want to talk about briefly. This doesn't really apply so much to the non-enhanced world, but this applies to the enhanced world, and it's something I've noticed is a trend when I'm in private groups and things that I talk in. If people really want to argue and fight over whether enhanced athletes are lying about their drug doses to each other and to other people, or even in those groups. And it really annoys me because the reality is it doesn't really matter at the end of the day who's using what drug stacks or what doses when we are going into clearly enhanced sports, whether it's powerlifting or strongman or even the NFL or whatever. Because the reality is there are guys who are competing at the exact same level whose drug doses vary massively. And a lot of guys will get mad because someone will say in a group or something somewhere that, yeah, they use 750 milligrams of test, and that's their meet prep, and they walk into a meet, and someone who's listening also competes and gets mad, and that guy out-squatted them by 100 pounds at a meet in the same weight class, but they're using 1,200 milligrams of test, 500 tren going into it, and like 100 milligrams of Anadrol a day. They're using over twice the amount of gear this guy is claiming to use, and then they get mad. But the reality is, guys, here's what you have to remember when it comes to the enhanced world. Different people respond better to drugs than others. 500 milligrams will hit 3 different guys differently. They will make faster and slower progress than each other based upon their genetics, based upon their training, based upon even their training base before they went on drugs. All of these things contribute, and it's just something we have to live with. And if a guy is using a half or a third of the gear that you do and he still beats you in a competitive event, it doesn't always mean that he's lying about his drugs. Now, a lot of guys do lie about their drug doses to mess with the minds of their competition or to not reveal their secrets. But at the end of the day, you have to consider the possibility that maybe the guy just has better genetics than you do. Maybe he trains harder than you do. Maybe he trains smarter than you do. And ultimately, it doesn't matter because each person is going to use whatever they think that they need to use to reach their personal goals at the competitive level within the limits of what they're willing to accept in terms of side effects and what they are willing to live with in terms of risks to their long-term health. And those are the ultimate deciding factors. And so at the end of the day, it ultimately doesn't matter what the other guys you're competing against are using. It matters what you are willing to subject yourself to financially, side effect wise, and health risk, and how far you are willing to go. And just because it takes you 3 times as much drugs to reach a certain point or to place second doesn't mean that the guy who beat you isn't using less than you do. It's just the reality of it. So I really find these debates and these fights about this stuff a bit annoying and really a bit petty. And they're really not accepting the reality of the situation. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go.